We're all about turning a crappy situation into something positive.
$250,000 of credit card
I
debt.
still remember the day when no one turned up.
Throw it in the garbage and start from scratch.
I could give myself a chance, so I started something.
I mean, I think that counts as from poop to gold.
Welcome back, everyone. This is From Poop to Gold. I'm Daniel Harmon, Chief Creative Officer at Harmon Brothers. My guest today is Sarah Beth from Sarah Beth Yoga. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming on. So Sarah Beth Yoga is a YouTube channel. You now have over 600,000 subscribers. Very committed to providing, like you said, utility yoga, right? Things that people can actually go and use in their daily, I don't know if workout routine is the right thing, but just in their exercise routine and implement into their life to provide greater relaxation and just greater health overall, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a little bit of your backstory. How did you get into this, into being a, YouTube yoga guru? Like, how does that happen?
Well, first it was YouTube.
Okay.
Because I wanted the luxury of lifestyle design. I wanted passive income. I pursued that through YouTube, not knowing how long of a runway that would be while I was making videos. This is way back in 2010.
Oh, okay.
Way back in the day.
So 2010 is when you started uploading to YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And those videos were awful. They were very cringy. Just, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
They were poop.
Okay.
That's what they were.
They were no good.
Yes.
Okay.
And I made just videos sporadically about my life. And a year after I started making videos, I went to yoga teacher training.
Okay.
And I saw a lot of content in front of me that wasn't yet on YouTube. So I started making yoga videos.
Okay.
And
you were like, this is a little niche I can feel right here.
Yeah. And they started getting traction.
Okay.
So I started making more yoga videos. And at the time, I was actually teaching in studio, and I was doing donation-based community classes, which felt very fulfilling to me that I could give yoga to a community who may or may not be able to afford it in a daily basis. But then that had to get shut down. I lost my location, and I was like, well, I have YouTube, and I'm trying to put these on YouTube, so I'm going to double down on YouTube. And again, it wasn't very good, but I really had an effort there and a purpose. And then I realized that I'm not going to compete with the other yoga videos on YouTube, because at that point, there were quite a few more were coming on. And I was going to teach my yoga because I had a community already that were looking for it. And I said, oh no, it's okay that we're not doing this class. You can come to my yoga channel. Same thing.
Yeah.
But now I can reach a global audience.
Yeah. And you could still provide that for free for them. And they can just tune in, turn it on, and then, do their exercise, do their yoga routine to that.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And so how did you land on the style of yoga that you're doing? Like, for example, a lot of the stuff like white screen kind of videos where it's just very clearly you on there doing the pose in real time, that kind of thing. How did you land on that decision creatively?
So it all began with, in the beginning, I was rearranging every room in the house to make a video because I thought that every video had to be staged differently for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking that. And I wasted hours moving mattresses against walls. And then I thought, maybe I don't have to do it that way. So I started filming in one location. And then I didn't care for the clutter and the distraction. I think there is a benefit to having a home feel to the videos.
Yep.
But then I had an opportunity to film in a yoga studio that I was teaching out of. And I took it. And it was very minimal.
Yeah.
And I liked it because my yoga is to the point. And I don't want people to be distracted by what's on screen. I don't even want them to look at the screen. But I'm there in case they need a demonstration. So I really aim to make my voice which is gone right now, but the key player in their practice. So I moved, and that studio was no longer an option. And I sought out a production team, saw a cyc wall, which is that white infinity backdrop.
Yeah.
and thought, this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is minimal. This is just yoga. Mm-hmm. And it's been like that since.
Yeah, that's been your focus. That's awesome. So the name of the podcast is From Poop to Gold. And for those of you listening and wondering what the extra sounds are, we are in a convention space. So you might be hearing a little bit of that going on. But when we say From Poop to Gold, what comes to mind for you in either your career or personal life of going from a crappy situation and turning it into something positive?
I think I'd have to go back to being diagnosed with ulcerative colitis.
Okay.
I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
Misdiagnosed
Early
when I was
on.
6 years old.
Okay.
And I've been symptomatic since I was 5 years old, as far as I know. And in the beginning, it was that's my life. That's how it was. I have lots of medication. I was on steroids. I have very strict diets. I'm limited in the things I can and cannot do. I have to be very aware of where the closest bathrooms are. I have to be okay with talking about bathroom talk and talking about.
So that's one of the
poop.
symptoms is just I'm guessing just a sporadic like bowel kind of issue. I don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest, but
It's an autoimmune disease that goes in remission and flares.
okay.
And when it flares, that there's so many symptoms, and because it's autoimmune, a lot of people react differently.
Yeah.
So it can be anything from constipation and pain and ulcers and bleeding, and it can also be urgency and swelling, which feels like urgency. And it's embarrassing, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. But as I got older, realizing that I need to talk to the people closest in my life, I need to be open about it when I'm dating people. There's a point where that has to come up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be embarrassed. It's my life. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And then I got this platform, and I can talk on this platform, and I can talk openly. And as I started opening up about, I have ulcerative colitis, and I'm not afraid to talk about these things. And these are the other things that have helped me so much. I have squatty potties on every toilet in my home. I gift people squatty potties. You know, like I had people write back to me telling me that I gave them permission to be okay with their bodies and their conditions. And some maybe had a different condition.
Yeah, different condition.
Yeah.
But the same principle.
Yeah. And to be able to stand up and inspire and motivate people just because I'm living my life the way I am, that to me feels like gold.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's great because like you said, it's kind of a rough thing to go through that, to know that you have something that other people are like, what are they going to think about this? But then to get to a point where you're just like, you know what? This is just who I am. I'm going to be okay with this. If they're not, that's more of their problem than mine. But then empowering other people to realize, oh, you can have a mindset change about this. You don't have to go through your life just being embarrassed all the time and not wanting to talk about it or deal with the issue because you're always just kind of sweeping it underneath the rug. So that's huge. What sources have you looked to kind of, I guess, coach you as well to continue your learning as you kind of continue down this career path of teaching others about yoga?
So I went to my yoga teacher training. And that was back in 2010 when I first started my YouTube channel. And when I was there, I learned, it was immersive. You learned so much. And I also learned about yoga philosophy. And it was the first time in my life that I thought, wow, this really aligns with my own beliefs. And I loved it. But something that I really strive for as a yoga teacher is to make it very easy and clear for anybody to walk in and understand and grasp. I want it to be more of a welcoming and accessible practice. And so I also found that some of the same principles are in personal development. Some of the same principles are in a lot of people's faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so for me, my own practice is an inspiration because it reminds me on a constant daily basis that we're all the same. We're all made up of the same stuff. We all feel the same things on the inside. Like we are one. Namaste. But then I go to externally, self-development, personal development, business development, and everything that I'm learning somehow gets blended right into my own yoga and my teaching, because I can string together a bunch of poses and make a beautiful sequence, but what I theme it with is what people take home.
That's very cool. So I haven't gotten extensively into yoga as far as like the stretching and that kind of thing. I do a lot of yogic breathing though. Ooh. Especially to deal with stress.
Yeah.
So I've found at times I can get really stressed out when I'm on a set because there's a lot of pressure, because there might be tens of thousands of dollars being spent on a given day, and everything's quote unquote riding on the director or the creative director that's overlooking the project. And so that can be really stressful. And so I've had these moments, especially like I remember on the original Squatty Potty video that when we were shooting, it was just a ton of stress because I'd never done anything of that magnitude. And I was literally noticing my body like freezing up. Like I don't even know that I would have known to recognize what was happening at the time, but it was essentially some sort of like an anxiety attack of some kind happening. And so I went off and I did these breathing yoga, exercise where I forget the names of them. One's arms up over the head, breathing in and out through the nose. It's Bell's breath is what I think the name of it is. And then another one is one that I think balances the left and right brain, where you cover a nostril on each side. Yeah, alternating nostril breathing. And that I've just found to be tremendously helpful, both for relaxing my body, making so I'm less stressed, but also energizing. And so as part of my faith, we don't actually drink coffee. And so there's no like caffeine pick me up kind of thing. And so like oxygenating your body is huge when it comes to boosting your energy levels when you're doing that like deep diaphragm kind of breathing. And so I found that to be extremely helpful. But anyway, just side note on my own yoga experience.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's the thing, is that yoga, a lot of people think that yoga is just this physical thing. You have to be a gymnast to do it. You have to look like this and you have to understand. No, yoga is like more of this umbrella of practicing mindfulness, body awareness. I mean, just the fact that you're able to become aware of the physical sensations that manifested out of your anxiety, and then you took control through your breath.
Yeah, it's hugely empowering.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about, I guess, what are some of the cool things you've got going on right now with your business? Like you mentioned, like before this interview, we were talking to me a little bit about how you go through your filming process and some of those cool things. But you said you have some sort of a subscription that your followers are able to take advantage of. What's that about?
Yeah, so I have a Sarah Beth Yoga membership.
Okay.
And it has the entire suite of members-only apps: iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV. It allows members to download videos within the app, just like Spotify. Mm-hmm. So you can take these yoga videos and use them up at the cabin, at the gym, or wherever you don't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It also has a bunch of members-only content, full-length yoga classes, like 45 to 90-minute yoga classes, programs, calendars. I have over 400 yoga videos that you can use. So let me give you a calendar that I've curated myself, telling you what videos to do and when, so you can achieve your goals. And we have a private community, which I think might be the best part, because they're so loving and supportive, and we all practice these calendars together.
Yeah. And I would assume for the success of your business, as far as a revenue stream goes, that you probably rely on that side of things even more than you do like on YouTube ads or something along those lines.
The membership site 10x'd my business.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's what I would assume. Yeah. Good for you.
Thank you.
When did you launch with that?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Good. That's great. So you're able to build up to that and really bring a lot of value to your community, as well as, like you said, bring a lot of value back to your business as well, so you can continue to produce great content going forward. Awesome. Is there anything that I should have asked that I haven't asked yet for you, Sarah Beth?
Yeah, I have 2 beautiful tiny humans.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're a mother, obviously.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You got little children. That's great.
Yeah, and a wonderful husband. And I've always been looking for other models, or not models, but women to model. Women who are running businesses and also families.
Yeah.
And now I want to be that person. I want to show you that it can be done.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. I love that side of it, because that's a tough act to juggle right there.
Yeah.
Being a mom and a business owner. I mean, that's huge. And to juggle all that with family.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like. I mean, it's hard enough being a dad, even with a full-time mom at home, which is our case. But anyway. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was really good to talk to you. And I've got a gift here for you. This is our book, From Poop to Gold. One more unicorn thing in your house, if you haven't already got some. But this goes over the 3 creative pillars of Harmon Brothers that we feel like are foundational to our success of creative culture, creative processes, and creative partnerships. And
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And for our audience, where would you like to point them to look you up?
youtube.com/SarahBethYoga. And on my membership site is at sarahbethyoga.com.
Awesome. Thank you all for joining us and listening. Be sure to subscribe so you can get more great content coming up. And we'll see you on the next one.